All right, before we get into the newest episode of the Empty Netters podcast, we got to hear from our incredible sponsors, Shift Hockey. Guys, we've talked about this. Shift and the guys at Shift are on a mission to save you from insane prices in the hockey stick game. This is an issue that every single hockey player, every single hockey parent, every single hockey family deals with. Sticks are out of control. You go to buy a new twig these days, your kids are getting better, you yourself are getting better, you need one of those top-of-the-line sticks. They cost $350. It's insane. Every time you break it, you break the bank. We're putting an end to that with Shift Hockey. These guys went out and they found the best suppliers, the best equipment, the best materials possible, the same stuff that those top-of-the-line sticks use, and they're making an elite, top-of-the-line twig for half the price. These things cost $150 to $170, and they perform exactly like the best stick you've ever used. You've got to get on board with this because it is a total game changer.
My friends from home are using them. Our high school team that we grew up with is using them. Our beer league team's using them. A lot of listeners play with us.
Yeah,
here you see me. I'm using it. I'm not lying. I'm using the stick. Everyone's using it. They're all saving money. Save some money.
Yeah. Truly. Like we say, this is one of those things that we love doing an ad read for because we actually believe in it. We actually use it. Shift Hockey is amazing. They're saving so much money for you. And with our promo code NETTERS, NETTERS, when you go to shifthockey.com/netters, that's going to save you an extra 10%. So guys, like we said, if you play hockey, if someone in your family plays hockey, if you were a parent, stop spending almost $400 for these Bauer, CCM, Warrior, True, blah, blah, blah sticks. Go get a Shift Hockey stick. It's going to work just the same, and you're going to save half the price and look sick using it because it's got a sleek design. Thing is awesome. No brainer, Shift Hockey. Okay. New episode of the Empty Netters podcast. We've got our new Empty Netters
We got three sick announcements, I would say.
We've got our new Empty Netters jerseys on. And I would like to say, Emily is shaking her head at me, but I mean, there's so many announcements going on. We got an Emily cam.
Yes, we do.
Producer Emily cam. All the creepazoids out there finally get to see what Emily looks like.
Her voice is so hot. Oh my God.
I love it.
Oh my God. Now I'm going to be like the most annoying because you can pair it to a face now.
It's going to be great. We got an Emily cam now. Next thing you know, they're going to be like, when can we get an Emily foot cam?
Yeah.
You know that's coming.
Sign up for my OnlyFans. It is just kidding. I don't have one.
I was like,
Here we
that
go.
was
We're
too
in.
real.
Are you worried?
Oh yeah. What?
Are you worried? Just because I feel like
true.
book characters are always hotter in my mind. Like when I'm reading a novel and there's a girl in it, I'm like, wow, she's amazing because I never see her. Are you worried that you're gonna have the book character paradox happen to you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely gonna like let some people down. But
you're also going to build some people up.
Yeah.
Some people are going to get pumped.
yeah.
Because now you're going to get tagged in all these clips.
Yeah, well, that's like the one thing that was bothering me is that you could hear my voice and everyone was commenting like, why aren't you showing this person? It's like, do you understand what a producer is? They're not always on the camera. Like they're not the host of the podcast. It's not about them. But I do understand when they do talk.
Yeah.
And it's not like I always worry about talking too much, but you guys want to talk to me. So
Yeah.
like, whatever.
I also think we're gonna get a little boost here because everyone's going to be like, damn, those guys stay focused on hockey for an hour and a half when they're sitting next to this smoke the whole time.
Emily is right there. How are you guys talking about hockey?
I think I deserve a cut of the podcast now.
Yeah, all right.
You haven't been getting a cut?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, I do get paid full-time salary, though.
Oh,
that's nice.
look
That
at
does count.
That's nice.
At that. All right, I want to get ahead of the people who are going to say, but Dan, I thought you said wearing custom jerseys is for fucking knobheads.
Yeah, because
You're not getting ahead of it because I already said it to you.
No. I'm getting ahead of it. To that, I'd say you're right. That's why I'm not leaving the studio. This jersey is so fire. Shout out Men's League Sweaters, hooking it up. But you will never see me wearing this outside of this studio or on the ice.
to bed or while we're playing.
Em, are you do you subscribe to like the big t-shirt game, going to sleep?
Yes, but I would not wear that to sleep.
Why
no
not?
Offense. I just don't think that that's as comfortable as a big, oversized cotton T-shirt.
But what
I
if you put
think-
it on and you were like, well, this is comfy as hell? It wouldn't be.
A girl,
Are we sponsoring
and
them? Do I have to be
I wish I had played.
No,
in the
I'm
NFL.
here. I would not be comfortable to sleep in.
A girl coming into my bedroom wearing only my jersey is got to be the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Ugh.
But if I'd played higher level,
you went arrogant there with the your jersey. I think it would have been better if it was like a Sidney Crosby jersey.
Actually, I would like that, but I feel like some people wouldn't.
Yeah, you were talking about a you scenario.
Yeah, I would like a Sid jersey.
There you go.
Also, Dan,
if we
I gotta
ever
say,
get Sid on this podcast, he's gonna leave in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, this guy's a fucking weirdo.
This guy's obsessed with me.
it's really gross. Dan, I also want to say your biggest complaints were always a custom jersey with your name and number on, and you didn't do that.
I don't. Look, hey everyone.
Little Mystery Alaska love.
For people who don't know, that's John Bibby from Mystery Alaska, aka Russell Crowe. Great movie. A lot of people in the office haven't seen that movie.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
I could not believe it. So we got to change that.
There was actually a lot of Mystery Alaska support. We did Winter Classic Man on the Street asking favorite hockey movie, and it was obviously Miracle and Ducks, and a lot of Mystery Alaska love in the comments.
Tons.
I decided to go Ralph Cox, 14.
When I opened it, I was like, sick fucking call.
Dan, ask me why I like to wear men's league sweaters.
Before we move on, CP, why do you like to wear men's league sweaters?
Isn't it obvious for the girls?
God, I hate you so much.
Love me some Ralph Cox.
But that was a good Ralph Cox. That's good stuff.
Love me some Ralph Cox.
All right. Well, other than another announcement. That's all we got, right? Yeah. We got an Emily Cam. We got new jerseys. Let's get into our regular stuff. Let's get into some hot ice. Let's talk some hockey. But I'm also going to take the sweater off because I'm sweating.
I'm going to leave mine on because I love it.
You're only taking it off because you know you're being a fraud.
I'm not being a fraud. I'm not my whole thing is not wearing them at games. If you wear it, I've said on a ski mountain is okay. If you've got it like at home or framed, and I've also said like movie references are fun. Those the people who have a Chicago Blackhawks Clark Griswold jersey, I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
But if you've got your fucking name on the back, no offense, Andy. But if you get your own name on the back, I'm like, that's pretty lame.
That's
but also,
so typical Andy.
yeah, but also it's like a company sweater, so I get why that's fine. I'm not a fraud.
You are a fraud. I think he's only taking it off because he likes looking hot. And you
I
don't
don't
look hot in a baggy shirt.
I look fucking sick in this.
Okay.
I'm genuinely sweating.
Okay.
Are my armpits sweat too much?
Some
in
might
general?
say.
Were you about to gag, Emily?
No, I was going to say that Dan has already been sweating today. He's been crying today. Oh, you missed his little cry session.
Oh, I did.
Ooh.
Dude, I put way too hot of hot sauce on my food today.
That'll get you.
Yeah. I put the last dab all over my food.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that we kind of pushed through all the other ones, and I've been, like, I go to the cabinet, and there's only that one left. And to bomb, obviously, but I'm like, I kind of don't want to wreck my entire meal with this, but I'm sad to hear you did.
I did.
Okay. Dan's got a sweater off, mine's on. We're getting into some scorching hot ice. Dan needed to take it off for hot ice because he would have got too hot.
Too hot. Also, I think it looks a little dorky when the both of us.
No, it looked sick. The clips were going to be awesome.
No, you guys are like cute little twins.
They'll be a good. Stop it. Stop that. Okay. Let's get into some hot ice.
I want to talk about the Bruins going for the record.
Yeah.
We talked about it on a previous pod and what their mental headspace is. And I know it's exactly the same. I do think they want it, though. Like, they're like, I don't care. But I think they're like,
do you?
yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell. These are those funny things where it's like the Bruins are, on a crazy heater. They are definitely winning the President's Trophy. That record is for sure in the ether. It's being talked about all the time. We've got interviews with Marchand talking about it, Clifton, McAvoy. They know it. They know it's a thing. They've said all the right things all season. They've been like, we don't care about that. We care about playing well, bell to bell. We want to make sure that we go into the playoffs, stay hot. We're focused on game to game, week to week. That stuff doesn't matter to us. And I genuinely believe that. Because here's the deal. If they lose the next 3 games, what is it now? They needed to win 6 and 9. They just lost to the Preds.
Tough one.
So now they need to win 6 and 8. They have to go 6 and 2 in the last 8 games. Very doable. They've been on that pace all season. If they lose the next 2 games, or 3 games, let's call it, they go on a 3-game losing streak and the record is over, I do not think they will care at all. I think they'll be like this, shit. But they'll be like, whatever, dude. Get to the playoffs and keep playing well.
And I would actually be happy because as a fan, because I'm like, I don't even want it.
I don't give a fuck about this. I honestly, To me, they tied, and they're going to break. They tied the Bruins record.
Yeah.
They have 57 wins. That's the most the Bruins have ever had. I think, frankly, that is, it's obviously not cooler than the all-time record, but I think that is a good one that they're like, nice. We got that. We're the best Bruins team ever. Let's go on.
Yeah, I think you're right mostly. I remember when the Pats went undefeated, Teddy Bruschi gave an interview where he was like, honestly, we weren't nervous all year about it, except for that last game. So I do think if the Bees go into, game 82 with like 61, so a chance to tie or a chance to win, I think that last game they might be like, I really hope we win this game.
Yeah.
Remember even when McAvoy was on and they hadn't lost at home yet in regulation, and they had that crazy Buffalo game where they came back like right before the Christmas break, like right before the Winter Classic. And he was like, yeah, dude, we in the locker room, we were like, it would be sick to get out of 2022 without losing at home in regulation. So like I do think when you get to the last game hurdle, it's in your head a little bit. But right now I think they're just cruising. They're just trying to win hockey games. I think my dream is they tie it. I'm like, okay, we also got 62. That's awesome. You can always hang your head on that. There's not the pressure of like they won 65 games, or whatever.
I think that's a cool call. It's like tying it would be sick, but yeah, like that's a huge thing. Obviously, chasing anytime there's something chasing history, cool stuff that we want to stay on top of, and yeah, we'll see. I mean, like we said, 6-2 in your last 8, very very doable for this team. So we'll be on the watch for that.
Yep. Okay, another little bit of history. Connor. Going for 70. I guess not history, but I'd like to see it. Going for 70. We had both said earlier that I was like, I bet he does it.
Yeah.
It's down to he needs 10 in his last
10 and 8, right?
7, I think.
Or 7.
Yeah, because they played last night.
Yeah.
He needs 10 in his last 7 games.
He could do it.
I know he could, but I'm now on the no side.
Yeah, me too. I think it's the next 3 games will tell a lot. If he has over a goal per game in the next 3 games, I'm back on hot watch. I think it could happen. But yeah, if he gets, 2 and 3 here, it's over, I think.
Yes, no one can go as nuclear as he might.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your call on his final tally?
I think he's going to finish with 67 goals.
Oh, shit. Okay. I think I was going to say like 63.
Oh, you think he's going to way cool off?
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of lame if he hit 60 and then was just like, hey, I scored 3 in my last 12.
So funny you just said that because I was about to say.
I think he's going to be like, no, dude, I'm scoring more.
I was right about to say, somehow it would be the lamest 63 goals I've ever seen. Like, I'd be like, what, dude?
I think
Which
that's
is so
right.
rude. But I'm literally like, dude,
Think about
63, this. Come on.
Think about this. We are sitting here saying that a man scoring 63 goals in the NHL is pathetic. And I stand by it.
Yeah.
If you hit 60 like you just did, Connor, and then you score a measly 3 goals in the next 12 games when you had a shot at 70,
he's goalless in his
weak.
last 3. I'm
it's
pretty
weak,
sure.
dude. It's weak sauce.
I wonder how many games. That's a tough look up for Emily, but I wonder
he needed
how many
to score 10 in 13.
I wonder how many times this year. What's the most amount of games in a row he's gone without scoring a goal this year?
Oh my God, yeah, that must be so. Emily could figure that out quickly.
That might be a tough look up.
Do you want to do that? Look up Connor McDavid stats, and then you'll on NHL.com you'll be able to find a drop down that's like the game by games, and just scroll down and see how many times in a row there's been 0 goals. Because I bet it's less than 3.
Okay, the longest stretch of zeros is 4, and it's from February 12th. February 15th, February 17th, and February 19th.
So he's got that 4, and then in October. Oh, actually in November too. In November he went 3 games in a row.
There's a lot of 3s, yeah.
But not that many, right? October once, November once.
And then
the February 4, and then now, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. Those are his longest. He's had 4 extreme air quotes droughts this year. So he's got a 3 game in a row in October, a 3 game in a row in November, a 4 game in a row in February, and then this 3 game in a row now. Those are his only droughts at all.
Okay, so the longest he's gone all season is 4 games in a row.
So he's extremely due right now. But to your point, I think...
Isn't that so funny? Because I hear that and I'm like... even as insane as it is, I'm like, damn, Connor didn't score 4 games in a row. That's cold. That's how good he is. He's been so good this year that I'm like, that's like bad.
When I check, and dude, they played Can you see the Oilers stats, like who they played recently? They beat the brakes off somebody the other night, like 7-4, and he didn't score. And every time I'm looking at their box score and they have 7 goals and he doesn't have one, I'm like, what the fuck possibly happened in this
It's crazy.
game?
I agree.
But to your point, unless he goes on another, they have 7 games left.
Yeah.
Unless he goes on another 3 or 4 game drought, which feels impossible that he would string them this together.
I agree.
Then you're right. He probably will get like 65, 66.
I think it's 67. I think he's going to get 67 goals.
That's a goal a game, though, bud. Like, he has 7 games left.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, man. In those 7 games, he's definitely going to have at least 2 games where he has a hat trick or 2 goals. I'm guessing 2.
Yeah. The multi-goal thing is
He's
what,
gonna have
what really
I think
does
he's going to
it.
have multiple multi-goal games in the next 7 games.
I'm now curious how many games in a row he's ever scored this year. I think it's like
We
5
can't
or
get too
6.
much into
Yeah,
that. That's insane. All right, so Connor, what was it? 10-8?
10-7.
10-7. Connor needs 10 goals in 7 games to get to 70. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Boldy, we got to talk about, dude.
Talk about hot ice. We should have led with this guy.
Matt Boldy is hot as fuck.
It's
dude.
crazy.
It's unbelievable. Matt Boldy, let's see, we wrote this down. He's the 4th U.S.-born player to record 3 Hatties before the age of 22, joining Jimmy Carson, Alex DeBrincat, and the legend, Jeremy Roenick himself. Matt Boldy, I think it is. Can you look this up for me? I think he has 59 points right now.
I'm going to check right now.
Matt Boldy is having one of the quietest, very, very good seasons we've seen in a long time for a 21-year-old child.
Yeah, you're right. 57 points.
57 points.
28 tucks. That's good. That's more than I thought. But he does have literally 3, 6, 8, 9 goals in his last 5.
Yeah.
So a week ago he had 19 tucks.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I'm like, it's a pretty good season.
Yeah.
And now he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna score 30.
I'm going to score 30.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Matt Boldy, Milford native, went to BC.
Yes, sir.
He, for some reason, when he came into the league, he jumped on the Wild. He was playing well. Wild fans loved him, still love him. And there's something culty about Boldy. And in my mind, I was always like, Boldy, what a cool low draft pick type of guy who just came in here and he's playing great. But he's a top 15 pick.
Yeah, 12th overall.
Yeah, he's a 12th overall. He is a elite player at 21 years old. He's going to get over 60 points, probably 30 goals this season. And it's weird that we're surprised by it, but good God, the kid is hot as fuck.
His last hat, he was sick too.
Yeah.
That second one was nice. Regarding that stat you read, Dan, 3 Hatties before 22. I was like, yeah, that's hard. So I get that he's 4th overall, right? DeBrincat 4, pretty sick. JR 4. Jimmy Carson 7.
Yeah, but when did Jimmy Carson play?
Dude, not that long ago.
Was he an early 70s guy?
Hold on, no, dude, I don't think so. Maybe.
Either way, he's shooting on stand-up goalies. This guy could lift the puck before everyone else. That's what happened.
Dude, no. So Jimmy Carson from Michigan, drafted in the first round, 2nd overall in the 86 draft.
Okay, yeah, that's not that long ago. So he was playing in the 90s.
Yeah, and he was 18 and he was nasty. So he had, several years before
Yeah.
he turned 22, which is part of the stat. But 7 Hatties before you're 22.
Pretty good stuff, dude.
Let's go,
Love to see
Jimmy.
it. Attaboy, Jimmy. That's unreal. All right, well, stick taps to your boy Matt Boldy because that is red hot, and you love to see a Massachusetts native doing that type of stuff. Talk to me about your boy Michael Pezzetta.
Okay, so everyone's seen this by now, I'm sure, but he hit the shootout winner against the Sabres. Sorry, bro. Tough loss for Buffalo. But he hit everyone with the Tiger Williams. He's riding his stick, and he's doing it. He's not just riding his stick, he's not doing the Happy Gilmore, doing the bull dance. He's riding the stick and doing exact mimic. Okay, I'm sure he talked about this pregame. My question is, I guess my first question is, cool or uncool to, honor that celly? I say cool for sure. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, sick.
Shootout winner.
Yeah,
all day. Have some fun.
My second more important question: do we need more extravagant cellies in the NHL? Should it become like an end zone dance?
No, absolutely not. In my opinion.
Why?
And that's not a no fun league take.
Yeah, it sounds like one.
My thing
sound
here,
like you're having no fun.
I know. My thing here is I love an extravagant celly. I love the Timu Solani shotgun. I love Mark Savard tossing his stick over the glass. I love Michael Pezzetta riding the bull, doing the dance.
Yeah.
I like it. That said, I think emotional cellies are so much cooler. when guys are
Yeah.
losing their minds, up on one leg, fist pumping, grabbing some ice, stuff like that. It's just there's so much passion in it. And I love it. So I do not think we need to go to all the time extravagant ones, but every now and then, because here's the deal, dude. If you do a celly that is so over the top, you are riding your stick, you're shooting your glove out of the air in the middle of a game, you deserve to get your face bashed in. That's not one of the things that I've talked about where if you get a big hit, I hate that one because that is a good play.
Yep.
An extravagant celly like that is not a good play. That is you being flashy and that's cool, but you gotta do that on a winner. If it's a game winner, fine. I don't want it all the time, but I'm cool with it. On a shootout winner, an OT winner, yes, you can extravagant celly. Again, not every single time.
Can I
do
push
that.
back here a little bit on this?
Go for it.
You sound like right now, because the counter take is then stop me, dude. Because right now you sound like when someone goes yard in a baseball game, and it's not the game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth, but someone goes yard and they fucking bat flip, and then you're saying bean them next time because they're like, that wasn't a game winner, it was just it was the fifth inning homer. And I'm like, dude, I just took your ass to the fifth deck. I'm gonna bat flip. I don't give a shit. If you don't want me to bat flip, then don't throw me a fucking hanging curveball. You know, like I like that they bat flip, and I hate when teams are like, throw at him next time. And I'm like, why, dude? So you're like, if I score a goal in the NHL and I go fucking riding the bull, and then you're like, bash his face in, I'm like, fuck that, dude. Stop me next time.
Okay. Like that take a lot. That is fair. My response is, if you do that, it then turns into a shit show. Because you celly like a dickhead, and then I bury one in your face, and I skate by the bench, and I fucking bird you. Or like I do a celly to make fun of you, and then it turns into the WWE. And I don't want that.
It would take a transition period, but I just wish it was more normal. Like I think you see that in college, like the college kids, because they're just fucking teenager homies.
Completely disagree. I'm sorry, this isn't a disagreement. You are wrong, because what you're saying is you're saying what I said I like. Those kids aren't being fucking douchebags. They're celebrating with passion. Like jumping into the glass is not an extravagant lame celly. That's just I'm having a blast. I just tucked a dope goal. I'm gonna, drag a leg, drag some ice, big celly. Those are sick. Those are cellies. Like I'm down with cellies. There's a difference between a guy like, David Krejci or Jonathan Taves who score and they just kind of like fist bump.
Yeah.
And then a guy like Patrick Kane who winds up a huge fist bump, and that is sick. Yep. Those aren't annoying extravagant cellies. And these kids in college are doing the Patrick Kane. They're doing the OV jumping into the glass. They're not doing throwing your glove up in the air or riding your stick or doing the bobsled or something like that. If they were doing that, then I'd be like, okay, but they're not doing that. And I'm telling you, if everyone starts doing that, it turns into the WWE.
No, you're right. Sorry, we're more on the same page than I thought, because I'm not advocating for everyone doing the bobsled, riding their stick. Like I don't care about it, but I do just wish it was more of like the huge windmill fist pump. Like I get mad at Krejci. I'm like, fucking go nuts, dude.
Yeah, I think now that we've found common ground here, I agree. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lack of it as much as you think.
Yeah, maybe not.
Like I think, we watch these top 15 goals of the week videos every year, and almost every single one of them is doing a big celly.
Yeah, I'll check the data on that.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes your teammates there too quick, so you just kind of get in the thing. And even in those days, I'm like, no, like kind of like Premier League soccer, like no, push them out of the way, run, do your thing, and then like I wish it was more like that.
I would say 6 to 7 goals out of 10, guys are doing some form of huge fist pump, bumping the glass or something like that. But I'm with you. Let's turn that up.
Turn it up a little bit.
7 to 8. We'll leave the Krejcis in there for this little fist bump. Hey. Good job. Good deal. All right, we got to move on to a couple other things before we move on here. One that I want to talk about, and a couple more stick taps. Clayton Keller is on a 13-game point streak.
One of the craziest, quietest, pushing 90-point seasons I've seen in a long time. That kid, and it's not like this is a surprise. He was sick at BU. He was sick since he got into the league, but he is a fucking stud.
Yeah, NHL All-Star. He is just a little water bug out there, finds ways to score every which way possible. But I'm here to say this.
They got to tell him to cool off.
Coyotes fans, you are not getting Connor Bedard, and you have one human being on this earth to blame for that, and his name is Clayton Keller. Clayton Keller is the reason that the Arizona Coyotes do not have a shot at Connor Bedard. If you look at the standings right now, pull those up, look at the standings right now, and you look at the bottom teams, I think it's San Jose, Columbus, and then after that it's like Anaheim, Montreal,
Ooh, wow.
something like that.
It's Columbus now.
Okay,
But they have an extra game. Not that it should matter for them, but it's Columbus, 53 points. Blackhawks, 54. Sharks, 55. Ducks, 56.
Montreal,
66.
Okay.
Coyotes, 67.
Like, the Coyotes having 67 points is just preposterous. You have no business winning this many games. Like, Clayton Keller, I get it, but maybe toss one in your own net, dude, so you've got a chance at Connor Bedard, because right now you're not even getting a chance at Fantilli. Like, you are going to get a great player, but there are 2 certified studs on the board, and you're not sniffing either because Clayton Keller's gone nuclear.
That's what I was going to say, dude. I'm so well, I was going to say I'm anti-tanking. I'm not. Do whatever you got to do. But rarely is it theoretically such a generational talent or such a top-heavy draft. And on those years, you kind of just got to tank, dude.
You do.
I don't know what to tell you. I know they're professionals, and those guys want to go and play well and score goals. And a lot of those guys maybe not are going to be a part of a future. Like guys are playing for contracts elsewhere. I get it. But the Claytons of the world that you're building around, you got to be like, dude,
Stop.
just
Stop it. It's unbelievable. All right. Do you want to do this Pekka Rinne thing?
Yeah, I do, because I just want to ask something real quick.
All right,
so Pekka Rinne got a statue outside of Bridgestone this week. I don't know if you saw it.
Big year for statues.
Yeah, okay, so this is kind of what I want to talk. I want to have 2 things to say to you. One, and this is from the article I was reading. Rinne, 40, is considered the most impactful player in franchise history. He was chosen in the 8th round, 258th overall, of the 2004 draft. He played each of his 15 seasons with the Predators. Rinne is leader in nearly every goalie category, including games played, wins, goals against average, saves, and shutouts. He was a 4-time Vezina Trophy finalist as the top goalie in the NHL and won the award in the 2017-2018 season. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So pause. Here's my first question. Is that statue worthy?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Number retired 1 billion%.
Yep.
Put it in the rafters fucking today. Bronze statue?
Absolutely.
Go on.
Let me tell you why.
And I love him, by the way. I'm not chirping. And I'm super happy for him. And he's actually had comments in this article being like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to he's like, it's so sick that it's there, but I don't deserve this. But go on.
That right there, dude.
Yeah.
That's why he deserves it.
Fucking love that answer, dude.
Cut
Fucking love that answer.
Cut here to the scene in Gladiator when Marcus Aurelius asks Maximus to be emperor. And he goes, do you accept this great offer? And Maximus goes, with all my heart, no.
Yeah.
And Marcus goes, that is why. It must be you.
Wow.
A man who doesn't think he deserves a statue, who has all those accolades, deserves a statue. And I also think this is my actual real reason. I love how Nashville is becoming a hockey town. It really is.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
All these guys are retiring there. They're playing at the Trube. We've got a great culture down there. People love the team, filling up Bridgestone all the time. If you want to become a hockey town, you need hockey history. And without things like busts, without things like numbers retired, you have no history. They don't have a cup yet. So you got to build the history somewhere else. And when you look at a young, new franchise like the Nashville Predators, you've got to go, who's the greatest Predator of all time? It's Pekka Rinne. And he's 40 years old, you just said. Like, that is young, but at the same time, history has to start somewhere. And if you want to build a great fan base, if you want to have people come to Nashville and have locals be like, dude, you got to come to Bridgestone. It's so much fun. This team is awesome. We love the Preds here. You've got to show the city and the culture that they do love it there. Mm-hmm. And that there's stuff. When you go to Bridgestone, you want to go, whoa, dude, like, look at that statue. That's cool. Who is that? You want to go in there and see numbers in the rafters. You want to feel the vibes. Mm-hmm. It's like, obviously, Pekka Rinne is not on the level that Bobby Orr is.
Yeah.
But when you go to TD Garden and that statue of Bobby Orr is out front, you are immediately in a hockey mindset.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
You're like, this is sick. So I like that the Preds are like, dude, or the Nashville's like, we are a hockey town. We love the Preds here. We want people to come to Bridgestone and be like, and feel that energy. And I think a statue helps.
Yep. The
it's you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, right. My fear is like that's the bar now.
No. Like, someone has to pave the road, dude. It's like, we talk about this all the time, that the Selke trophy should be changed to the Bergeron trophy. Mm. You had to make the trophy after someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if people surpass them. Records are made to be broken. And there is no planet where down the line, the Nashville Predators in 50, 70, 100 years are a franchise, and they've got other statues out there. They've got more banners and more numbers up there. There's no world where someone goes, Pekka Rinne does not belong here. They go, Pekka Rinne started it all, dude.
Yep. Okay. I support this.
That's that.
Second question. Have you seen it?
The statue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's
picture.
kind of weird looking. It's
So
like
it's
grainy.
Well, yeah, but I also mean it's just like it's him with his mask up and it's just holding a stick in the air. And I was like, what is this? And then I read that it is the pose. It's modeled after the pose he struck after his last game ever when he recorded his 60th NHL shutout, making 30 saves in a 5-0 win against the Hurricanes. Sick. I'm glad that happened in his last game.
Agree.
But, and obviously Bobby Orr, which you brought up earlier, has like, you know, an iconically sick thing that you can make a statue. But if it were me and I was Pekka, I think I would rather it be like
A sick save.
yeah, like just 2-pad jammer.
Yeah.
Or like a sick glove
Yeah, like
save.
a massive flying blocker.
Like I just think my statue would be sicker if it was him making an epic save than instead of just waving at the crowd. I'm picking nits here, but I just think
dude, you are so correct, man. I think if ever some person, organization, building was stupid enough to make a statue of me,
and it was just you standing there waving.
No. I'm saying I would be there while that sculptor was making that statue the entire time.
Yeah.
I would have final cut on whatever it is. There's that James Corden bit with David Beckham where they make a statue of him, and it's like they joke around and make it look awful.
Yeah.
And they show Beckham at the unveiling, and he's like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" And I think it's the most honest reaction of all time because I'm like, "Yeah, I would be appalled
It
as
would
well."
suck.
And I just think it's insane that that's what they landed on. It's crazy.
And again, sick. It was his last game, and I get it and all that stuff. But just take a save from that game. I don't know.
We got the final four, or excuse me, the Frozen Four set. We got Minnesota versus BU, Michigan versus Quinnipiac. You got anything to say about this? And then what do you? Who do you have going to the final, and who do you have winning?
Okay. All I have to say is couple fucking blowouts on the way here.
Oh man, this has been the wildest tournament ever. I think there haven't been that many upsets. It's been borderline chalk across the board, but blowouts. Michigan pounded the shit out of Colgate 11-1. Penn State won 8-0. Minnesota has steamrolled their way to this Frozen Four. It's crazy.
Big Denver loss. That was a shock. Harvard lost.
Denver was
Harvard's
the big
nasty this year. Harvard lost 8-1 to Ohio State. And like Ohio State's good this year too, but I was like, what the fuck is going on?
No, that was nuts.
But otherwise, you said it. 4 of the top 5 teams from the final rankings. 4 of the top 5 teams are in the Frozen Four. Denver being the only out. BU in. I would say Minnesota looks nasty. Quinnipiac looks quite good too. BU's got some strong wins, by the way. Like they're snuck
scrappy
by Cornell, but like they're good. Cornell's a good team. That was a good win. The finals, the whole Frozen Four's in Tampa. I'm not sure that favors anybody.
Nope.
As much as I would love to pick BU, I'm going to go Minnesota in the semi over them. Minnesota's so good.
They're too good.
Them not going to the final would shock me. And then I'm actually going to take the upset because Michigan's the 3 over QU. That one's a tough one though because I think QU might be the better team, but I'm a strong believer in when teams can't quite get it done one year when they should have. That motivation is hard to bottle up for other teams or hard to recreate with other teams. So I think Michigan has a really sour taste in their mouth from last year. So I'll take them there. But then I think I got to go Mini in the final.
So I thought we were going to be lined up. I completely agree. Minnesota's too good. I love BU. I love the mojo they got, but Minnesota's a wagon. I've got them. I've got Michigan for exactly the reasons you said, and I think Michigan's going to ride that in. And I think Minnesota's going to be too jittery because they've pounded everyone, and then they're going to come in and Michigan on the back of Luke Hughes and Fantilli are going to win.
I mean, because Fantilli's the leading scorer in the fucking nation, and that's a weapon. I was looking at the top scorers, and Quinnipiac, they have Colin Graff, who's like 4th.
Yeah.
But they got good players, don't get me wrong. There's a senior who's a point per game, whatever.
No, they're spreading it.
But he's like the guy, dude.
Yeah.
And he of the top 11 scorers, Michigan's got 2, Minnesota's got 2, BU's got 2, but Quinnipiac's the only team with 1 guy in there, and that's just a lot on his shoulders. So go blue.
All right, a piece of news that broke a couple weeks ago. What happened to your outfit?
Did you change clothes?
Haven't I been wearing this the whole time?
No, you had a jersey on.
But I had a sweater on. You had a jersey on.
No, but I had a white hat on.
What the heck is happening?
Emily, what are you wearing?
You guys are the most cringe people I know.
Well, for those viewing, we had a little technical error, so we had to do a little redo, and we've got different outfits on. Okay,
sick,
but
though.
actually, a couple weeks ago, some news broke in the NHL in the old jersey department. Topical, we were wearing jerseys.
Now you're not.
Now we're not. NHL struck a new 10-year deal with Fanatics for the official game jerseys that every player in the league will be wearing. They'll be they'll be departing their deal with Adidas, which I'm so bummed about. I remember when the Adidas deal happened, there were a couple people that were like, Adidas and hockey, what? And the jerseys are fucking sick. Now, there's an element of this that's going to be interesting because starting in 2024-25 season, for the next 10 years, every player will be wearing a Fanatics jersey. This is interesting for a couple reasons, I think, because one, it'll be like the players on the ice are just like us in the stands,
Yeah.
wearing shitty-ass knockoff jerseys. And two, there's going to be an element of sex added to the game because after about like 3 or 4 games, these jerseys will literally be tearing and falling off of all the players. Because I imagine Fanatics makes their jerseys with like sewn together grass, straw, some glue, scotch tape, things like that. And that's just not going to last an 82-game season. Where do you stand on this?
We had the privilege of going to a movie premiere last night. One of the perks of the gig. And that movie was Air.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm trying because I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? But okay.
And it's about Nike signing Michael Jordan to a shoe contract. Rookie North Carolina Michael Jordan. And at the time, Nike made absolutely trash basketball shoes. They had a tiny portion of the percentage of players. Everyone was wearing Converse, everyone else was wearing Adidas. And you, I think, really enjoyed the film. I liked the film a lot too. And it was just it was such a cool story about how they just needed a chance. Nike just needed a chance. They believed in Michael. And I think, Dan, that a jersey is just a jersey until someone puts it on. And maybe, what would you say, Dan, if you heard later that Fanatics went into the NHL office and pitched their fucking heart and soul out and said, look at this. Look what we're going to do to the jerseys. I know that no one thinks we're cool. I know that we have a tiny percentage of the market share, but I'm telling you, we can take the NHL jerseys to the next level because we believe in this sport. We think it should be bigger than basketball, bigger than the NFL, and it will in the next few years if you let us teach everyone to fly.
Maybe they have. Maybe they've already created some sort of
Mock-up
for the jerseys, and I don't think that they would like approve it if it wasn't absolutely fire.
Yeah.
So just all I'm saying, I don't know that they did that. I'm just saying, what if we hear a story that they came in with this incredible pitch and said, look what we can do. We just needed the chance. I know we're small. I know everyone wants to go to Adidas because they've got all the money, but we can do something special. What would you say?
Listen, I loved that impassioned pitch and speech on behalf of Fanatics. I think what I'll say is my problem here is Fanatics isn't. It's not a sports company. It's a fan. It's literally called Fanatics because they go, we make T-shirts and jerseys and hats for you fans to wear to support your teams. Obviously, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, what have you, does that as well. But I look at a guy in a professional sport wearing a jersey, and I see a Nike swoosh on there, or the Adidas stripes, or the Puma. And I go, this all makes sense. You are the type of company that could sponsor a professional jersey. When I, in 2 years, watched guys on the Kings, the Avalanche, the Wild, the Lightning, etc., skating around with that Fanatics logo on the back of their jersey, looking like every average Joe dickhead, I'm like, what have we done, NHL?
I want to look it up.
Are we down so bad?
We're not down.
You're with me, Emily. This is not a good look.
I agree. I'm just a little too distracted by the fact that you guys went to a movie premiere last night and didn't invite me. So
It was not something that
Fucking,
I'm
how do we
allowed
keep
to bring
messing
to you.
up like this. We can't keep messing up like this.
Here's a question.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, please go on.
I like the angle. I like the air angle here. That it's like all they needed was a shot. Fanatics just needed a shot to get their foot in the door. Honest to God, man, Fanatics to me isn't they don't you don't get a shot. You're not you don't get to have the ball put placed in your hand.
Okay, Adidas, no problem. We'll just bully all the little guys out of here.
But that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to think of a different company. I mean, Warrior, for example. I feel like if Warrior got the official jerseys, if True got the official jerseys, it would be a surprise. People would be like, "Whoa, I didn't see that coming." But with that, I'd at least be like, "Yeah, good. That is a."
They were in the game.
You're in the game. You're a hockey company. You have, I mean, and Adidas doesn't make anything hockey other than the jersey, but at least they're a sports company. They're a sportswear company. Fanatics, and I appreciate and respect Fanatics for what they are, but what they are is a fan company. They make apparel for fans to support teams, not for players to wear jerseys. I just think every time we see Fanatics on the back of these NHL jerseys, we're going to laugh our asses off. And it's going to look so dumb. And it's just in a time where the NHL is cooler than ever, hotter than ever, and getting more popular with fans and more electric, the last thing that they should be doing is going, yeah, Fanatics is our official jersey sponsor for a decade.
Yeah.
It's fucking mental.
Okay. The parts of your argument I agree with you are because if it would have been Warrior or True, that's a even better air comp. Because like Nike, even though I just kind of clowned their basketball department and everything I know about it, I know from the fucking movie, so I'm no expert. But they were in the sphere. They were trying to have a basketball department. I know they were really small, but like at least they had something. So yeah, True is a better comp than Fanatics in that regard. What I was going to ask you though is, like you just said, Adidas doesn't really make hockey stuff. They make sports stuff, right? Like, so everyone's like, cool, Adidas, sports, cool, Adidas jerseys, all good. Adidas make jerseys for other sports, fine. I'm curious, and I have a much larger thought, but I'm curious, what if this had been like Lululemon or like a company that makes no sports stuff, but they're like, NHL signs a deal with Lululemon, and I'm like, they make sports, good fitting, like, dry fit shit sports apparel. All the jersey is, it's not hockey equipment. I don't give a fuck if it's a hockey company or not, per Adidas, you know? So I'm like, what if they had signed with Lululemon? How would you feel? Would you be like, get Lululemon off the NHL jersey? Would you be like, sick?
I'd say like stay the fuck in your lane. Just it's
You
like
would.
it's like if Target were to make a designer bag or some shit like that, just do what you do best and stay in your fucking lane.
Okay, so I think most people would say that, but don't you think Lululemon is athletic wear?
Yeah,
Like, Lululemon is like athletic wear. So I'm making sports jerseys.
So you'd be fine
But
with
you're
it.
not making Lululemon does not make hockey jerseys. They don't make sports jerseys. They don't make fan gear for
Right.
the
But stay on the sports stuff. Like they make athletic.
I like
tops.
that. Okay, I like that take by Emily because Adidas is not in the hockey space, but they make jerseys.
Yep.
They are one of, if not the biggest soccer jersey sponsor.
Yeah.
So them making a jersey was surprising because you're not really a hockey company, but I was like, yeah, you can obviously do this. So Em, I think I feel Em's point with the stay in your lane to the Lulu thing, but dead ass, dude, 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000, I would support if Lulu or what is it, Vori or
Yeah.
how do you pronounce that?
Yeah.
I would prefer one of those to be the official NHL sponsor over Fanatics.
Okay.
I think like Under Armour should have a shake at this before Fanatics. I think fucking I would rather Old Navy make the fucking NHL jersey because, dude, I can't get my head around the name Fanatics. It's embarrassing.
Dude, I was just about to say that.
Like you're just embarrassing. You're an embarrassing company. If I went online and I bought a t-shirt, because we all know I don't wear jerseys.
Yeah.
If I bought a Bruins t-shirt and it said fucking Fanatics on the back, I'm laughing. I would wear it, but I'd be like, I don't like that this is Fanatics. I wish it was just an Adidas shirt. I wish it was a Reebok shirt. I wish it was a nondescript, had nothing on it. I wish it was a knockoff from fucking Cambodia rather than it say Fanatics on it. And now every player in the NHL is going to have Fanatics on their jersey.
Okay, so, man, I have a lot. I didn't realize how much I had to say about this till now we're talking about it.
Dude.
No, dude. So I think you're right. Or I think what you said about Lulu, most people would say, where they're like, oh, I'd rather Lulu
That would be
Fanatics.
swaggy, dude. I think it would be, Lulu makes great shit. I think it would be swaggy as hell.
But I think in this is a little like counterintuitive because you're basically saying stay in your lane to Fanatics, but Lululemon is the same in this. It's the same thing. Like you can't do something and then just go to a completely different realm and start making fucking hockey jerseys.
That's why I said I kind of feel.
I think you're just favoriting Lululemon because you fucking hate Fanatics.
I am, which I'm fine with, but I think that's okay to say. It's like
I agree. Yeah.
I said I kind of feel your point with the stay in your lane because I think at some point we got to let. I mean, if I said stay in your lane to Warrior, they would not make. Warrior makes amazing hockey shit now. So I'm down with people dabbling, but if you suck at it, get the fuck out. And here's the problem, Fanatics, you fucking stink.
No, okay, dude, no. So you're both fucking wrong, and here's why. Because, yes.
Have you ever had a Fanatics shirt, dude?
Yes.
They're trash.
Dude.
You buy a Fanatics shirt, and after 3 days of wearing it, after one time through the wash, the fucking stitching's coming out. They shrink 5 sizes. It's insane.
Well, I will give you this.
Fanatics, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, though.
I'll give you this. Fanatics has one shot at this. Like, if they make jerseys...
I've got news for you. They've got 10 years of a shot of it.
Is this a 10-year thing?
It's a 10-year deal. That's why I think it's so mental. If this was like a 1 or 2 year deal, I'd be like, okay, give it a shot. But it's a 10-year deal.
They must have something great up their sleeve.
Yeah, and there's just no way like the NHL.
So true. I'm like, how
know.
did you get this?
That's my point. I feel like
deal?
they wowed them with the pitch. There's no way they're gonna fucking. I know there's been a bunch of funny memes and shit, but like, there's no way people's jerseys are gonna be falling off next year, and they're like, oh, it's Fanatics.
Of course, we're being
we washed it once and it
saying
broke, and I'm like, dude, they're fine. You must allow people to venture out of their lanes. I think I get it, but I'm like, no, let them try. And I completely disagree that the jersey is anything more than just clothes. Like it is a shirt. So like a Lulu company, I'm like, make shirts. Make this shirt.
Listen, man, I don't disagree with any of that. My bigger point here is there's another element of it's not like Fanatics can fucking redesign these teams' logos and jerseys.
Yeah.
They're gonna all look fucking same. Like there might be teeny differences here and there, but they're all gonna look the same. And yes, the actual players' jerseys are going to be of the highest quality.
Yep.
There is no question about that. I mean, it would be shocking to me if there are just moments where there's like literal stitching falling off. Like one of the spokes on the B falls off. It's like, like all of a sudden one of the fucking teeth in the Panthers logo is not on. Like, that's not going to happen. Where I stand is this is embarrassing.
Okay, so hold on. Yeah, I want to get to that.
That is my biggest point, and I stand by it because there's no way Fanatics was the only company that was pitching to have the official NHL jerseys. So to Emily's point, they must have come with some crazy offer, which is shocking to me that Fanatics could outbid someone, or they must have had some crazy idea. Otherwise, we're looking at a situation where the NHL is nickel and diming, and they were like, I don't want to pay X amount for Adidas. I don't want to pay X amount for this or whatever.
So here are the two things that it could be. We will probably never know. Here are the two things that could have happened that will make me sad. And one is other companies, the Adidas, other reputable companies bid, X, right? And then Fanatics bid 1/4 X. And the NHL was like, we're cheap motherfuckers, just take that one.
Yeah.
I hope that didn't happen. I also hope the reverse didn't happen, where all the reputable companies bid X and Fanatics went like this, our product is shit, but we'll give you 5X. And the NHL went like this, just take the money. Yeah. I also hope that didn't happen. I hope it's like the bids were around the same and Fanatics wowed them, like you guys were saying. I think even though I'm okay with a Lulu getting out of their lane, let's live in that world where it's like, no, stay in your lane. Because I think a Lulu company is objectively cooler, quotes, than a Fanatics. And if you're the NHL and you're getting more and more popular, I'm like, dude, be cool. Be sponsored by a cool company. God damn it.
Well, at least fucking Lululemon makes good ass quality
Hell yeah.
things.
Yeah, I think that would be so.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, or not obviously, but almost certainly that's not in the card.
Yeah, right.
But man, that would be sick if all of a sudden the NHL unveils their new jerseys and it just has Lulu on the
Lulu
back.
swag.
Or Vori or whatever.
Yeah, that
Dude,
would be
we had
swag.
we still get like Duke hockey swag, you know, and it was always like, I forget what company, but like a regular Champion or something. Mm-hmm. And then this year, the guy who's in charge of all the swag like emailed the team and was like, hey, here's the new gear for this season. And it's Lulu, and he was kind of like beaking. He was like, yeah, I guess like people like Lulu now. And I was like,
yes,
this is
of course
fucking fire, dude. Like,
I've got news for you. Now your stuff is of
all
high
my
quality.
Duke hockey stuff is sick now. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, no shit.
So yes, but probably not in the cards. But let's live in the world you guys want to live in, where it's like kind of stay in your lane. Isn't Emily, especially talking to you, Fanatics more staying in their lane? Like Fanatics currently makes fucking jerseys and shit. I know they're knockoffs, but like they make jerseys. This is very in their lane. So I'm like,
it is.
Go ahead. This is what they already do.
Yeah, you're right. I'm by staying in your lane, I mean like
You were more chirping Lulu, which is fine. Like, you know, that's not in their lane. But I'm arguing Fanatics, this is their lane. So it's like we shouldn't be complaining about that.
It's
honestly, and I know you're going to agree with this, it's honestly just the cool factor.
by
for
staying in
you
your
and
lane,
a
I
lot of
mean
people.
continue making your fake ass shit and stop
Yeah.
with the real shit.
Okay, hold on.
Agree.
Another counter,
dude,
though.
your company is called Fanatics. You
Dude,
make shit for
no,
fans.
they-
That's their whole model, dude. They go, we make shitty jerseys.
No, we make jerseys for fans.
No, we make shitty jerseys so they don't cost as much as the official one. That's literally what they do. Like, that's their whole thing, Chris.
Dude, no, their whole thing is...
that is literally their whole thing. Because if you fucking wanted to, you go to the team store and you buy an official Adidas jersey that costs X amount of money. Fanatics came through and went, we have lower quality stuff, but it still looks like a jersey, and you fans can buy it and not break the bank. That is literally their entire fucking model. And they make t-shirts and they make hats. That's fucking great, dude. Keep doing that. But don't you dare make an NHL player put your shitty jersey on their back, and now they're going to have to do it for a decade.
Dude, but
guys are going to retire wearing Fanatics jerseys, and that is so fucking disrespectful and putrid. And you are an idiot if you're going to sit here and tell me that Fanatics is actually a company that is on par with all of these other companies. And they started their company going, one day we will have the official NHL jersey. No.
They did.
No.
They did. And, dude,
Because if
you
they
are
did,
high.
dude, they would have named themselves not something stupid like Fanatics. They would have gone, we are a sports apparel brand. We are going to make good shit. Like, even something like 47 brand is a better name and would look better on the back of an official jersey. Fanatics?
47
It might
is
as well
pretty
say
good.
Goodwill on the back, dude.
Dude, Fanatics went like this.
Fucking garbage.
They went like this.
I agree. I have to say
It's
You
garbage.
guys are so wrong. They
No,
they
you're
had the
wrong.
ability. They
You-
had
yeah,
the
you
ability.
are wrong.
They had the ability to make. Dude, it is not fucking hard to make a $200 authentic jersey. They had the ability to make that the whole time, but they went like this. It fucking sucks for fans that if they want their jersey, they have to buy something.
How stupid
so
are
we're
you?
gonna
This
make.
is literally my entire...
But can I ask
know.
a question? Like, this is where, off of your point where they're like, okay, we're trying to save the customers money by making them cheaper jerseys that aren't as expensive as the jerseys in store. So what are they going to do? They're going to make nicer versions of the hockey jerseys for the team, and then they're going to make shitty quality ones for fans to afford? Or are they going to just not make affordable ones anymore, and then everyone's going to hate them either way?
I think that's a fantastic question. I think it's going to be both. Because now, in the official team stores, the jerseys you're buying
Are Fanatics.
Look at every jersey in this office that is signed by our guests and our fans. Those are all Adidas jerseys. Those are the official jerseys that you buy in store. Now, what's going to happen is you go to these official team stores. Those jerseys are going to cost exactly the same as they do now. It's like, let's call it $200. Those are going to cost $200, but if you go on fanatics.com, you're still going to be able to buy the $80 one.
Yep.
Which is like fine. But what I'm saying, I mean, it sounds like you were literally just regurgitating my point, is that like, dude, I know that they're capable of making it. But the reason they started a company was to make affordable shit for fans and good apparel for fans, which I love, and good for you. And that's why you named your company Fanatics.
Yep.
Because you're going, we're making stuff for fans. I am not knocking Fanatics' existence. Like, we need the Fanatics of the world. I don't need them outfitting my NHL players.
Okay, let me just finish the point and I'll see what you think about it. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, we both agree that they had the ability to make a $200 jersey, obviously. And they were just like, oh, but it sucks that that's how much it costs. We're going to make a cheaper one so people can actually afford a fucking jersey. And that's fine, right? We agree there. Like, they did that. They have the ability to make an expensive one. But instead of just going, what if I offer another $200 jersey? Everyone would just buy the Adidas. So why don't I make one that people can actually afford? So they did that, right? We're all in agreement.
Yeah, I've said that 3 times now, so I don't know what point you're trying to make, but try to land this plane.
They were just trying to become a fucking apparel company. So they could either have gone, we also sell a $200 one, and they would have folded in a week, or they went like this, we sell a $100 one, and then they became a company that people actually know and like, and everyone knows the logo and everyone knows the name.
But actually everyone
And then
hates.
they went like this, can we get a big deal? Because obviously I know how to make an expensive one. And the NHL went like this, dope. Now, you're really hung up on the name because it was like, it's for the fans. I wish, and probably they do too. I wish they had called themselves 47 brand, and they did the exact same thing they've done. Sell $80 knockoffs. They're called 47 brand. Now they get the NHL deal and everyone's happy. They're like, sick, I love 47 brand. Like, you're literally just mad that they're like, we're a fan company.
Yes. Again, like, you think you're making this great point, but you're not. You're making a point that exists, and I do agree with, because it's everything that I've just said. But my problem is you're dumb. And you called yourselves Fanatics. You made a mistake, and that's fine, dude. But own your mistake, because if you actually if you had the foresight to be like, we want at the end of the day to be a Nike, we have to start small. We're going to start with fans. That is a good business model. You're going, who buys these things the most? Not the NHL players. The majority of people aren't buying the team official jersey. They need something cheaper. That is a good entry point.
Yep.
But if this was your end goal, you're an idiot for calling yourselves Fanatics. And I stand by that, and I don't think that's debatable.
That's fine. I don't know that their end goal was like, I hope we get the NHL deal. That was probably even loftier than they thought.
But that's the point you made. I'm just saying, if we put on the Instagram, who thinks Fanatics being the official NHL jersey is cool, it would get less than fucking 25% guaranteed.
Less than that.
Yeah, right? It's probably less than 10%.
And do you think that's literally because of the name?
Yes.
No, I think it's everything about that company.
Sure. Okay. Yes. Sorry. It's. I think it's the name. I think it's the fact that their product is bad. Like, dude, go on Twitter right now. Like, there's a million memes of people, like guys who get in fights and their jersey gets tugged and it's shredded in half. There's 1,000 memes that are like 2 years
Fanatics,
when guys are wearing, 3 games into the Fanatics jerseys. Like, that is the general reception of this piece of news.
Yeah.
Which means people do not like this product. They certainly don't think it should be the official NHL jersey.
Yep.
That is my larger point. Like, you're standing on a platform here for Fanatics, the business, and like, I respect you, dude, truly.
Because it's so obvious that they can make a nice shirt.
Well,
it's not hard at all. So they're like, we made a nice shirt.
No one is debating that. I don't know why you're so hung up on that. I said
I'm just saying that's the jokes on the internet. Like, everyone's on the internet like this.
But that's a good joke.
Suck.
It's a good joke, because would anyone, if Under Armour got this, would that joke exist? No.
Correct.
If Lulu did this, no. It's a good joke because everyone goes, I mean, your product is bad. Mm-hmm. It's bad quality. Obviously, they know that's not going to be the quality of jersey that goes on these guys' backs every day. But you still get to make that joke when everyone thinks your product sucks.
Yeah, and everyone knows their shirts fall apart because they all bought one, and because it's the only ones they can afford, and thank God Fanatics exists to fucking outfit these losers who are like, oh, I can't afford the real one, so I'm buying Fanatics, and now I'm going to complain about it.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone's got a lot of Fanatics in their closet.
I have a lot of Fanatics stock.
We've come to the root of the
now
this guy is deep invested in Fanatics.
Long in Fanatics. And this week was a big week.
Yeah, it was a big week for you.
Big week for me.
Wow.
Here's what I'll say to wrap up this. I think this should wrap up this conversation. I understand where you're coming from, Chris. This is a great business venture for Fanatics as a company. If I worked at Fanatics, I'm fucking on fire.
Hell yeah.
However, the NHL is stupid for going down this route, and everyone agrees that this should not be their choice.
Agree.
Jersey
I
brand.
will say,
I agree. This is a bad look.
If these jerseys suck, kill yourself, NHL. Like if you are like we're gonna take a swing, and then the Fanatics jerseys blow, I'm like, are you high?
and I completely agree with you, Chris. There's just no way.
Yeah.
But if it happens, if they look bad, if there's even one moment where someone's jersey is falling apart,
Or like players are complaining.
Remember when the NBA did those sleeve jerseys with teams, and I think it was like LeBron first came out and just ripped them off.
Yeah,
he ripped them down the seam because he was like, "This is so dumb." Those are just such bad looks. Like if there's one player, you're right, that's like these things are so uncomfortable, they suck. Yeah, not great.
Very bad.
Em's right. We got to move off of Fanatics. What do we got? The playoff race here, and coming up here, guys. We got like 2 weeks left in the season, so we're gonna have playoff breakdowns once all of the seeding is done. But I know we talked about the East Coast, Eastern Conference wildcard race, and
yeah, you picked.
I read my eulogy for the Sabres, which is funny now because they're only 5 points out with a game in hand on Pittsburgh, which is just so funny. So. They're still dead. It's not a reverse jinx, like I said.
Yep.
But we've got the Islanders and Pitt in. Florida right on their heels, 1 point back from Pittsburgh. Buffalo's there. Tied with them is Ottawa. Tied with them is Washington. Like, the East still very much has a wild card race. But what we want to talk about a little bit today, because we didn't really get to it, is the West. In the West.
Dude, well... Go. Do you have it up? Because I'll read this.
I do.
Yeah, read the
numbers.
numbers.
There's a decently sufficient break between the top 6 teams.
No, I just want to talk wild card.
Colorado third in the Central has 94 points. Edmonton third in Pacific has 95 points. And then wild card, we have Seattle with 88, Winnipeg with 85. And then right below them are Calgary and Nashville with 83 and 82. Tyler Toffoli came on the podcast last week. We released a clip of him talking about if we can sneak into the playoffs, we can make some noise. Couple fucking idiots in the comment section were like, yeah, pack your bags, buddy. It's over. And I'm like, Calgary is literally 2 points back from a playoff spot.
Yep.
So you're wrong. Anyone who made those comments. Everything is very... And listen, they might miss playoffs, but if you're standing here saying there's no chance, you're a moron. So...
Dude, so Seattle with 88 is in 73 games, so like they feel... They couldn't, but they are okay. Dude, I said this to you, I forget when. I think it was during the trade deadline or the week after the trade deadline. But I was like, man, Nashville's like pretty close to the playoffs. And after they had a fire sale and Duchesne's hurt now and like they're not even playing. Dude, Nashville has 82, like you said. So Winnipeg 85, Calgary 83, Nashville 82. Nashville has 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
And the things about games in hand, you got to win them. But if they win them both, they are over Winnipeg. Like, straight up, they are the second wildcard team right now. With fucking 7 games left, the Predators are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, they are fucking firing after getting rid of their entire team. Like, they legitimately might get in.
Yeah, like Luke Evangelista steps up, 42nd overall pick, steps up, gets in the show, all of a sudden is lighting it up for Nashville. Players are starting to click a little bit.
They beat the Bees. Like, those are the weird wins you got to get when you're one of these teams. You're like, well, we're going to lose to the Bruins. We're going to, and I'm like, bang, 2 points against the Bees. And I'm like, dude, the Predators are going to get in. And I fucking love Nashville hockey, so that would be sick. I actually really like the Jets, the Flames, and the Preds. So I'm devastated I got to pick one of those.
It's interesting, man, because I look at actually all 4. I think you're right. Seattle's comfy.
Yeah.
But, man, what a slip from the beginning. I mean, they were first in the Pacific for a little while here.
Right.
And now they're a wild card team, and I think that they're in. You're right; those 2 games are big. Like if you turn that 88 points to 92 points, then we're not even talking here.
Which they would still take, by the way.
Yeah,
like the one wild card.
You're
like
right.
A 6 season.
You're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you're in your second year in the NHL. You're in the playoffs. Absolute huge win. But I look at Seattle, Winnipeg, Calgary, Nashville. Very different from our Eastern Conference conversation. I want all those teams in the playoffs. I like all those teams. I think Seattle absolutely deserves to get into the playoffs. We need that. I think Winnipeg, with the bullshit that they dealt with at the beginning of the season, stripping Wheeler of the Sea, the way these guys have clicked together, the way they're playing, I'd like to see them in the playoffs. Winnipeg playoff hockey is fucking elite too. The white wall is absolutely mental. And then Calgary and Nashville, who doesn't love those teams? You look at the guys on Calgary, they're so amazing. I'm not just saying that because Ty was just on, but it's a cool environment. The Saddle Dome is an absolute barn. The fans up there are incredible. And then Nashville is one of the coolest new hockey towns in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like all these guys, all these fan bases, all these players, they all deserve playoff hockey. They're not teams that we're tired of seeing in the playoffs. Like, you know, I chirped Florida being like, fuck you, get out. You don't deserve to be in. I chirped Islanders, your lame ass fucking 2-1 hockey, get out of the playoffs. There's none of that for me here on the West. It's like all these teams, I'm like, get in.
You know what's been funny to watch? Sometimes in trades you see a bloodbath, right? Like super lopsided trades. See any Bruins trade over the last, any marquee Bruins trade over the last decade, 2 decades. Sometimes there's something called the win-win, where you're like, wow, it was a great trade for both teams. This Calgary-Florida trade has been such a lose-lose. Like, we had a talk at the beginning of the year, like, who's going to be better? And it's so hysterical to me that they're both, like, 1 point out of the playoffs and, like, oh, we're fighting for our fucking lives. And I'm like, you guys were the fucking best 2 teams in the league last year. Like, 100-point team.
Seriously,
I'm like,
Chris.
President's Trophy, and I forget what Calgary finished with, but they were nasty.
But I mean, Calgary was a wagon, and they go into the Battle of Alberta with McDavid and Edmonton. It's like they were so hot.
Yep.
And yeah, it is so bizarre to look at this
What a
team.
lose-lose. And maybe it's, you know, you needed a year, everyone's got to adjust, and they'll figure it out. But right now, it's fucking comical that they're both going to miss the playoffs.
It's also comical how similar they are. Calgary has 83 points, Florida has 81.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're right
just-
there. They're both like a point or 2 out.
Did you see Papa Kachuk's comments, by the way?
Yeah.
He was
They are
like, this
fucking
Florida
soft.
team is soft. And
They were
they're
soft
playing
last
and
year.
They deserve everything that they're getting. And I was like, well,
So Calgary, I really like the players. Panthers, or we'll stay in the West. Calgary, I like the players, but I don't, like, I almost care a little bit less because of that big trade. You know, like, they were so good last year and you fucking blew it all up, and like Gaudreau leaves, and I'm like,
well, hold on. Can I interrupt?
yeah, it wasn't really their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, don't use the term blow it up. Like, Johnny Gaudreau, not out of nowhere, but was like, I'm not resigning. Fuck you.
You know what, dude?
And then he went to Columbus. And they went, okay. And they pivoted and they went and made a great play and they got Kadri. Then Matty Tkachuk is like this, hey, I'm not going to resign here, so trade me. And they're like, well, what the fuck, dude? And then they go and swing and they get Hubie and they get Weegar from Florida. Great move.
Monster trade.
I just think they got fucked and made it work with getting these great players back. And it sucks that they're not playing well. But I mean, like, I don't think Calgary deserves any of the sour grapes right now.
No, you've changed my mind. And in fact, Winnipeg, and you know I love Blake Wheeler. You know I love Connor Hellebuck.
You love Kyle Connor.
I love Kyle Connor so much. But they missed the playoffs last year. Like, they should have made the playoffs last year. They missed. They should have made the playoffs. They should make the playoffs this year, but they could miss. If I had to pick a team, if I had to pick 2 of these teams out, I might go Winnipeg, even though that'll make me sad. I'm just like, dude, you guys can't underperform this consistently. You know, this is 2 years in a row that you're on the fringes here. That's enough of a sample size for me that I'm like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
They have a lot of issues in that locker room, I think, unfortunately. I know the Wheeler strip thing was like, oh, it's nothing, but I was like,
It's not nothing.
not nothing.
Yeah.
And then Nashville, what an awesome hockey town, but you, even though it's kind of a cool story, you got to pay a little bit for this fire sale. Like, I reject that you're like, we traded everybody and we snuck in the playoffs just to get pumped in the first round. I'm like, what are you doing?
My thing with Nashville, obviously, we're big Nashville guys. We love the Preds. We love the town. Nashville, to me, feels like a team. If you sneak in that 8 spot, you are
Bye.
getting swept out of the playoffs.
Bye.
Whereas, like we talk about, man, and we'll do this in our playoff breakdowns, but we're looking at Vegas, probably Vegas or Mini or
Colorado, I
It's-
bet.
it's
That'd be
gonna
my
be-
guess. I got Colorado and LA, by the way, winning both those.
really.
Yeah.
All right.
Colorado for sure.
Calgary is not a team I want to play if I'm a 1 seed.
Hell no.
Not at all. And I know people are going to chirp that comment. I know they're going to be like, Calgary. Dude, Markstrom is a phenomenal goalie. And you've got guys like Toffoli, Huberdeau, Kadri, Lindholm. You've got serious players on that team. You never know with the Stanley Cup playoffs. And that feels like one of these sleeping giants who has not woke up all season. And if all of a sudden they sneak in the playoffs and they're like this, we're a playoff team.
Like, you'd rather Seattle, I think. If
Yeah.
you're one of the 2 ones, I'm like, give me the fucking
Absolutely.
Kraken. No offense, Seattle. but-
Absolutely. So, yeah, Nashville, while I love them, does seem like a team who, if they sneak in, I'm not really that
Yeah.
scared. They've been struggling to score goals all season. So
I wonder what's the goal diffs there. Because I think you completely changed your mind. I'm actually now, yeah, dude. Winnipeg +9, Calgary +5, Nashville -11.
yeah,
I'm actively rooting for Calgary now. You changed my mind fully.
there you go.
Because they got dealt a tough hand, dude, and they're battling.
Yep. We'll save the rest for our playoff breakdowns, but I do want to talk about some hot teams in the league.
Okay.
We've mentioned them a little bit. We've mentioned them in hottest teams of the week. I believe one of these teams. Actually, I think two. I think the two teams I want to talk about are the 2 and 3 hottest teams of the week. The New York Rangers and the LA Kings are playing wildly elite hockey right now.
Dude, first of all, the entire Pacific, Vegas, LA, and Edmonton is, I don't have it right in front of me, but it is something like 8-1-1 / 8-0-2 / in their last 10. Like those 3 teams are nuclear, and so are the Rangers. It's peaking at the right time, dude. Everyone talks about that. They are peaking at the right time. This is when all the trades start to gel a little bit. The guys get more comfortable. I've always been like, oh yeah, the Atlantic was so fucking savage. And I don't want to talk about too much playoff stuff, 'cause we will, but the Atlantic, it's like all the Leafs, the Bruins, the Lightning, like that. What a murderer's row. The Met,
Wrong,
dude,
yeah.
is a fucking disaster.
Carolina, New Jersey, New York.
Ew, dude.
103 points, 100 points, 98 points.
And like, dude, are you fucking me trying to catch the Rangers in the first round right now?
Dude,
Horrible.
that I'm saying it right now. We've talked about it before. That New Jersey, New York first round playoff series is going to be, if that's what it shakes out to be, is going to be one of the most intense and elite playoff series in recent memory.
Dude, and I guess
that's going to be a bloodbath.
I guess we'll see where the Rangers have a few questions, I guess, a few more than some of the other teams. We'll see where Kane goes. But that's like for the foreseeable future. Like the Canes, the Rags, and the Devils for the foreseeable future. I'm like, holy shit, boys.
Young teams.
Yeah.
I mean, New Jersey who's even old on that?
Dude. And that's ignoring, like, if Pitt and Washington make, like, a final push with their guy, like, if they go all in, like, that is fucking tough stuff.
It's crazy, man. And the Kings, dude, are just the risen from the ashes, the Phoenix himself.
Dude, we got to go to, what do they call those? Like, those Hockey Hollywood events? Hockeywood, yeah. That was right there.
They're fun.
We got to go to that preseason Hockeywood.
Actually,
opening night.
UM needs to come to that next one so we can get her on some skates.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually. And, Luke's out there doing the rah-rah stuff, and he was like, we missed the playoffs, and then we made the playoffs last year, and made, took the Oilers 7?
I think 7.
Took the Oilers to 7, and, what's he going to say? But he was like, onward, like that's not the goal anymore.
Yeah.
It's like winning playoff rounds. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I was in the hype train, but I was like, I believe in this squad. I think there's a really good young talent here. Fiala's going to be dope, which he is. Didn't see the goalie situation happening, but they're all set now. But my point being, I was like, yeah, the Kings are going to be good. They could go to the second round. And then they just started the season so, I was going to say bad, most morally inconsistent, but I was like,
I think bad. I think they would call it bad. I think they did not like the start of that.
And it went long enough. And last year last year there was a stretch where I was like, the Kings aren't going to make the playoffs. And I kind of looked away, and then I looked back, and they were like 3 in the Pacific. And I was like, oh shit, they got hot. But at the beginning of this year, it went long enough that I was like, yeah, that was a fluke last year. Like they jumped a step in their rebuild, and they're like actually regressing to the mean now. And Luke has been, and the whole Kings organization and all the players have been proven so fucking right in the second half of the season.
Yes.
Like they were like, yo, we're dope. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, my bad.
So here's what I'm going to say. Here's your hot take clip moment. Get those fingers ready. I think you look at a lot of the good teams in the league. The other one we're talking about right now, the New York Rangers. I think Rangers fans, the players go, we can absolutely win the Stanley Cup this year for sure. But I also think they look at New Jersey, they look at Carolina, they look at Boston, obviously, and then even Toronto and Tampa. And it's like, fucking A, man. Like, these are some big, big teams we got to get by to get here.
3 massive series.
Here's what I'll say. At the beginning of this season, I think the LA Kings organization, their players, and their fans went, we're going to make the playoffs. and we're going to make a good push here. We're going to try to win one round, maybe two. We'd love to get to the Western Conference Final. And I think if at the beginning of the season I said to Kings fans, Luc Robitaille, Rob Blake, all the players, if I said, you guys are going to lose in the second round of the playoffs or the Western Conference Finals, they would go, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's a great season. And I'm telling you right now, every single member of that organization and that locker room is going, we're going to the Stanley Cup. I think that Kings team is going, we are the best team in the West. We've got hot at the right moment. We have all the mojo right now. Our goal is playing in the Stanley Cup or bust.
So their mindset changed, you're saying. They were like, oh,
yes.
yeah.
I think they are looking at the way that they're playing right now. Like we said, you look at the top teams in the West, Minnesota and Vegas with 98 points and 97 points. The Kings have 96 points.
Yep.
They want to win the Pacific.
Yeah, they do.
And I think they're going, there's no team on this conference that should be standing in our way to go to the
Because
Stanley.
I don't think they want Edmonton at all in the first round.
Oh, I think that I genuinely think they go, bring it the fuck on.
Me too. But just like if you're 1 point away from facing fucking Calgary.
Yes,
which is not easy either. But
Sure,
yeah.
sure. But the point I was making with the Eastern Conference teams, I think Rangers fans, I think Rangers players look at some of these teams and they go, I do not want to play you. If you're the Rangers, you don't want to play the Devils in the first round. You definitely don't want to play Carolina in the first round. And then if you get past that, you don't want to fucking play Boston if Boston gets past their wild card team. I think the Los Angeles Kings organization looks at every single team on the West and goes, I am not afraid of any of you.
Dude, interesting comment. I thought you were going to say this, and I think it's both conflicting ideologies, but I think it's both. I think the Kings agree, we can beat anybody here. And I'm not saying the Rangers don't think they can beat anybody, but I do think the Rangers. But I do think the Rangers are like,
we can beat anyone.
But I think they're like, fuck, that's a tough one.
Definitely.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And I don't know that the Kings are thinking that as much as the Rangers. However, I do think, and I think this matters a little bit, to start the season, everyone on the Kings, from Luke and Rod all the way down, went like this. Second round would be nice. And everyone on the Rangers went like this, cup or bust, to start the season.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that matters a little bit. Like the Kings, sometimes it's, well, I guess it can matter either way. Sometimes it's like the playing with house money thing, so you play loose. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I think you need that fucking desperation sickness in you of like, if we don't get to the cup, it's a fucking disaster. Whereas some teams are like, well, we made it this far. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, like that can, you take your foot off the gas, that millimeter, it can hurt you.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think their mindset might have changed, but I think before the season, the Rangers had much higher expectations than the Kings, and that desperation might drive them.
I think so too, but I think it flopped. And I also think that the boogeyman that popped up on the East has completely fucked the Rangers.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, dude. I think the Rangers probably, fuck seeding, just talking about the top two teams. I think the Rangers at the beginning of this year went, the Eastern Conference Finals should be us and Tampa.
Yeah.
The top three teams is probably us, Tampa, and Carolina.
Yes.
Maybe Toronto, but Toronto and all their issues. And then out of fucking nowhere, the Bruins and the Devils popped up as major boogeymen for them.
Yeah.
And then even though we knew Carolina was good, like we talked about, dude, Carolina is good.
Yeah, they are.
They got past Boston last year, and then they lost in the second round. But
Rangers have kind of handled. I mean, they beat them last year, but they've also kind of handled them this year. So it's.
I don't know, man. Like the last two games, it was 1-1,
Yep.
and they were both battle games.
Yeah.
I think, right? Or did
No, it was one goal game both way. I think. Yeah.
So I don't know. That dynamic switch has been interesting.
God, dude, the playoffs are so fucking sick.
I know. We're gonna get to them. All right. Last but not least, we're doing hottest teams. CP, lead us away.
Okay, number 3, the Boston Bruins. After they dumped 2 straight to the Wings and the Hawks, they went 7 in a row. Jets, Wild, Buffalo, Ottawa, Habs, Lightning, Hurricanes. They beat the Canes without Marshy, without Berg, without Lindholm. Sway was in net. No knock on Sway, by the way, but it just wasn't your favorite in net. Tough loss to the Predators, as we said. But, I mean, dude, they're a machine.
They're steamrolling. It's insane. We didn't give them enough love per the Rangers fans last week. But
Jesus
Rangers,
Christ.
calm down, guys. We've got them in there. They're amazing. Rangers are the second hottest team of the week. They lost this week, but we're doing it so everyone will stop bitching, like we said. 16 goals in a row. They beat the Preds, Hurricanes, and Panthers this week, but they lost to the Canes. And that was a spicy matchup because
Yeah.
there's a lot going on in the mat as we've talked about. But they're 8-1-1 in their last 10. They look strong as hell. So eyes on the Rangers.
Hottest team of the week, the LA Kings. Your LA Kings. 3-0 week. They beat Calgary. They beat Winnipeg. They beat St. Louis. They haven't lost in regulation for a franchise record 12 straight games.
They did just lose to Calgary, though.
Oh, they lost last night?
Yeah. They lost
Well,
last night.
pretty
But
sick run.
This is before that. They're on the
And,
run.
dude, honestly, I would say the most impressive stretch of this is that Vegas is still ahead of them. Like, I cannot believe that the Kings are on this fucking heater and Vegas is still clean.
I know. Well, it's making people forget the Kings, the first 20 to 30 games of the season, they were so weird,
Yeah.
so up and down, and but they found it, dude. They have found
Yep.
their footing, and they are fucking rolling. So, unbelievable stuff.
All right, let's hit the last few segments like we always hit, and we're going to get started with a little bit of... Yes, Emily. A little bit of Eichel watch, Dan. He's got 59 and 61. He needed to finish with just over a point per game since we last recorded, and he is over a point per game since we last recorded, but not over a point per game enough.
Yeah.
But, dude, he had to get really hot. He's got 5 points in 4 games. He still needs 13 points in his last 8. So he still has to
No
get
way.
very, very hot. But, dude, he's had 2
No.
3-point games in his last fucking 4 or something, last 5.
We'll see.
So he's getting closer. I don't know. I
Like
feel
we
okay.
said, I know, I have on record that Jack is aware of this.
Yeah.
So, Jack, like, he had 1 assist last night in a drubbing.
Yeah, but at least he got the fucking assist, dude.
Yeah, but he barely did. It was on a meaningless last goal of the game.
So what?
Don't be mean while he's listening.
Yeah,
I'm not
great.
being mean. I'm saying, Jack, do you want to see me eat shrimp?
Yeah, I
Start
do.
putting the puck in
People
the net.
want to see Dan eat shrimp.
Do you? I get to pick your punishment, right?
No, dude. Fuck that. No, it was I have to get a fucking Jack Eichel custom jersey or something and then like rollerblade around the strand.
We're going to make him put on a suit of armor, a Golden Knight suit of armor, and then walk into the Pacific Ocean. No, maybe I'll make you rollerblade around in a suit of armor.
That's
that
pretty
would
funny.
suck. That'll
Yeah.
be hot as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. All right. No, where in the world is Austin Matthews? Because per usual, he's just cruising.
All right, then playoff trail, Dan. Is it possible that you went a little too hard last week?
No.
Are they still breathing?
No.
Florida getting hot was very not helpful. I realize that, but you might have gone a little early.
No. And some people are going to say, Dan, is this a reverse jinx? Nope.
Dude,
It's just the truth.
I didn't realize
I
that
put them to
Buffalo
rest.
14, 20, and 3 at home, 21, 11, and 3 away.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the Devils were on that bullshit, but I didn't realize the Sabres were doing that
Yeah,
too.
they fall apart at home.
And it's crazy because they're like, Darlene's writing an article about how much belief there is, and like everyone in town
I think it's
loves them.
that.
And
I
I'm
think
like, how
they
do you
party
fucking
too.
lose
They
at home?
party too hard with all the fans, dude.
I love
Everyone's
that.
just so fired up in Buffalo.
Fashion
Yeah.
through tables, dude. That's pretty
insane.
sick.
All right, let's close it off with some what to watch. Got
Yeah.
any games to watch? Em, do you have a game to watch? You didn't get one, did you?
She actually did have a coldest team of the week.
I did.
What is it?
The Canadians.
What are they on? Are they on a skid?
They're not making the playoffs, right?
Oh, they sure aren't.
They just suck.
Yeah, they.
And they're not even sucky enough to get a good player next year. Get one of the best players.
Yeah, so
Extra
shittiest team of the week.
Extra cold. All right, you got anything on Friday, Dan? I got one Friday, one for
Hit me a
everyone when
Friday.
it drops.
I have no Fridays.
Rags at Sabres.
Okay.
Battle of Patrick Kane's heart.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you see Taze say that he thinks Kane looks good in a rag sweater?
I did, but also like it's not a battle of his heart because Patty Kane picked the Rangers, and it's we know
Well,
where
for
his-
now.
That's true. That's true. All right, I got a Saturday game. I got the Kings Seattle. I think nice little Pacific matchup. Very, very similar records. I think both teams are locked in the playoffs, but like the Kings are hunting for the head at the top of the Pacific, and Seattle, you got to win games here.
Oh,
You know,
dude,
like,
they're in a little bit of trouble.
It's not as close, or it's not as locked as people think. So you got to stay up in there. So that's going to be a big game.
I have a game to watch, actually.
Hey,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Em. Hit us.
Bruins, Penguins, Saturday.
Fun one.
That's a fun one.
Penguins
Both
need
great
it.
teams. Yeah, they.
Penguins need it. Yeah, that's a tough one for me
Why is that a tough one for you?
because I love Sid so much.
Yeah.
But also I'm a Bees guy.
And then
that's trending to be the first round matchup too, which is not going to be played.
And then my last game of the week, and this is strictly an aesthetic pick. Nice Sunday original 6 matchup. Red Wings, Maple Leafs.
I knew you were gonna say
two
that.
best jerseys.
They should have to wear red
Two of
and
the
blue.
best jerseys in the league, and it's just that they should wear red and blue.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Detroit is going to be wearing white. Like, you guys should just wear your home jerseys.
I got 2 on Saturday for you. Wild at Vegas. Wild's in first right now,
Yeah,
by
it's
the
a
way.
good
I
game.
think Colorado's going to get them, but I'm just saying the Wild are in first right now. Think about that.
Yeah.
And the second one, this is a big one. Sharks at Yotes.
It's not that big because the Yotes,
the
are
Yotes
just
are
so
pretty much
far
out.
ahead. Like, I would have loved to have said that that's a Bedard watch game, but it's not because Clayton Keller can't stop fucking scoring.
Yeah, Sharks got to lose this one big
insane.
time.
All right, those are our games to watch. Hope you guys tune into those. That has been it for us this week at the Empty Netters Podcast. And until next week, guys.
Skate hard.